Hi, this is Josh with 406 Speedway, and today's video is going to be about dynamic braking. Basically what dynamic braking is, being able to come up with a better way to shut down your cars in your shutdown area, and one way to do that is through dynamic braking. And that's pretty much creating a short circuit in your track to be able to use the car's leftover energy to help slow it down. And one way how that's done is to break the connection in your track right after your finish line, right after the piece of track that your sensors are in. You want to be able to break the rail a little bit to create a disconnect there. So let's say that this is your finished track. This is the track where you got your sensors on. And what you're wanting to do is the next piece of track after that in your shutdown area, you want to be able to break the rails just a little bit. You know, take a needle nose plier, whatever, and just get it in there and kind of wiggle those rails a little bit back to where they will snap off a little bit. And just do that back far enough to where it breaks that connection, so where there's no power being transferred from here to here. Okay, but be careful while you're doing that. You don't want to break the plastic tabs off here. You don't want to create anything that might cause an obstruction or something for your car to derail your car after it passes this point. So what happens after it passes this point is that your car still has a little bit of energy left over in it. You want to be able to take that energy, that juice, to be able to kind of slow down the car a little bit to help it come to a stop, and it works pretty well. So, and one way to do that is to be able to create a short circuit at the very end of your shutdown area. And what you can do is you take a wire and you can solder it from this point, from this rail here over to this rail. I've done it on both sides because essentially my track is a 4-lane track, so I've soldered both lanes here. I think another way you might be able to do this, and I haven't tried it yet, but I think another way to be able to do it is to cut this track back a little bit and to be able to bend the rails over far enough to where they're able to touch, and you might be able to just solder the rails together versus you know, soldering a bunch of wire together. So I'll go ahead and show you how I have it set up on my track, and then we'll send a couple cars down the lane. That way you guys can see how fast these cars really do shut down. And it really helps out, especially if you have a shorter shutdown area like mine is. Mine's only 5 feet. And so any help that you can give your cars to shut down quicker, it's going to be way more beneficial. Okay folks, so you can see on my track here where I have broken the connection between the two pieces of the track, between the finish line track and my shutdown area track. So you can see there where the rails have been basically snapped off back far enough to where there's no power transfer between one piece of track to the other. And then down here at the very end, you can see this is the piece of track where I have created a short circuit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and send a couple cars down the track. One of the cars is going to be a Viper car. The other one's going to be a DR1 GT, and the third and final will be an AFX car, just so you can see in comparison the different types of car and how fast each one shuts down. So as you can see here, the Viper car almost made it all the way down to the end. But just in case it does do that, I put a couple wraps of black tape around here to kind of act as like a little rubber buffer zone here, so that if the car does make it down this way, it's just gonna barely tap that black tape and come to a stop. You see here with the DR1 GT here and the AFX cars, you can see that they both stopped in a fair short amount of time after the finish line there. So before I set up this dynamic braking setup here, I mean, all the cars would make it all the way down here to the end, and I'd have to have a pad down here. But just as a precaution, I'm still going to use the pad down here, but at least these cars aren't going to hit that pad or have as much as an impact as they normally would have. Okay folks, so that's pretty much what dynamic braking is. It's basically having the ability to shut down your cars quicker, sooner in your shutdown area. It's really beneficial for those tracks that don't have a 10-foot shutdown area like mine. Mine's only 5 foot. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.